Welcome to Trail Talk here on LTTV. I'm Chris Forde. I'm the Director of Marketing at Lincoln Trail College. And joining me is Dr. Zahi Atallah, the President of Lincoln Trail College. Zahi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's rainy outside, but it's sunshine inside.
That's right. Well, Zahi, we have been talking about a growth mindset and over the last several episodes, and we've been looking at it from different angles, and today is sort of how we're going to bring everything together and finish up this quick little series.
Yes. And on LinkedIn, somebody asked me, how will you measure the outcome of growth mindset? And I think it's a wonderful question to ask. I don't think I have the solution personally, but I think I have some inklings of things that I personally feel would benefit our students and our faculty and staff at the college.
Right. It's something that doesn't feel like you're going to measure it by numbers per se.
Well, you could, but how do you tease out the impact of particular activities or particular interventions from the rest of the things? And as you remember, when you have a living environment like a college, it's really hard to treat things like a plot of land with soybean varieties or any other experiments of that nature. So I think we need to look at thinking about ourselves as a learning space as well for ourselves in addition to the students, but also what we can adopt in terms of strategies and watching the growth of students. I believe the proof would come in the learning outcome assessment as opposed to just looking at the grades. It's also about students coming back, that retention, that completion. Those are my thoughts. Do you have any thoughts yourself?
Well, we've talked about a bunch of different things. So, we could also talk about, equity and inclusion. Mm-hmm. We could talk about things we're doing in the classroom as far as technologies go and things that are going to help reduce those barriers for students so that they can move their education along in a very positive way.
No doubt about that. No doubt about because we succeeded in a school system the way you and I and others did, it doesn't mean that everybody can and should be using the same approaches. So the more we're open and the more we can fit into the scheme of learning of the student and meet them where they are, the better our chances of succeeding and the better our chances of moving that needle toward a happier ending are going to be. And I realize those are very general and generic things that we're talking about here, but exactly what you talked about, technology in the classroom, augmented reality, virtual reality, simulation, and project-based learning are great examples of those attempts.
Well, one of the new tools that we just got here at Lincoln Trail College is the anatomage table, and it's something that I hope here in this series we can actually go into a little bit more depth on and talk about educational technology, but what a great asset for students.
Indeed. It's not just a recruiting tool, it's also a learning tool that I hope we don't hide in the back and prevent students from touching it. Rather, we need to ourselves embrace it and have every student have the opportunity of learning by touching. It's a detachment from the good old cadaver anatomy classes. Some people would say it doesn't replace cadavers. I contend that I've seen it do that effectively because cadavers are not for everyone. And you go on from that to process technology, to welding. There are opportunities of growing the skills of our faculty and staff in order to grow students using such tools.
But I think probably, Zahi, my biggest takeaway from all of this, and it's a topic that we've talked about on its own before, is really working to meet students where they are.
Yes. At the end of the day, our job is to support each and every student. That's the idea of guided pathways. That's the idea of a growth mindset. That is the intention behind universal design for learning. All of those strategies coalesce into focusing on each student, what they need and when they need it. because they might need certain things at particular times that differ from other times. We need to be there for them. And also we need to support them and wrap around the services that they need for their life and education.
I certainly hope that you've enjoyed our series on developing a growth mindset in higher education here on Trail Talk on LTTV. Certainly we'll continue to bring you other really interesting topics here through the coming weeks. And as always, if you like this video, be sure and like it on YouTube, hit that bell so you get notifications when we post new content, and certainly share it across other social media platforms and like Lincoln Trail College on our other social media platforms. So for Dr. Zahi Atallah, I'm Chris Forde. We'll see you next time on Trail Talk on LTTV.